Hello, everybody, and welcome to our Monday night date. This is Gretchen Hidell on Facebook Live. So whether you're watching this live or on the pre-recorded broadcast, or if you are watching it on YouTube, welcome. We are talking about this week in astrology, and it is Monday night on November 30th, the last day of November 2020, and going all the way, covering all the way into the next week on Sunday, December 6th. So welcome for everybody who is joining me live tonight. Please say hi, type below your astrological sign. I love to hear from you and where you're tuning in from. I love hearing the locations of everyone joining. So hello, Andrea, welcome. Aries, I happen to know. Fellow Aries, welcome. And today was the big full moon lunar eclipse. We had a full moon lunar eclipse today. How's everybody feeling? It's a lot of energy coming at us, a lot of downloads, and how I'd love to hear how you guys are making out with this eclipse energy. It's a lot of eclipse energy going on right now. So I'm just kind of waiting for some folks to join. Sarah is saying that she's a Taurus Scorpio rising with Aries moon. So welcome, Sarah, and welcome everybody who is joining me live. So we're going to jump right in because I have a lot to cover, okay? Because we have to talk about this big, lunar eclipse that happened today with the Gemini. So please like and share with your friends. Angela said she is exhausted. Yes, this full moon lunar eclipse is a lot of, astrological energy, a lot of downloading that we've been doing. Colette said, hello, Astro friends. Vermont here, Capricorn sun, Cancer rising, Virgo moon. Lori in Vermont, Pisces. Good day, Lori. How you doing? My mother Rita, Virgo in Colorado. Way too much energy. Danielle said, oh God. Okay. Juliet said, I'm loving this. And Colleen said, I've been so distracted today. A lot of people saying, Danielle saying crazy. She feels a little crazy. Now Danielle actually I happen to know very well, and she is a Gemini. So there's a lot of Gemini energy going on right now, Mercury and Gemini. So we're going to be talking about that. So basically what the deal is, it happened, the peak of it, the height of it happened today on Monday, the day of the broadcast, November 30th at 4:30 a.m. Eastern time. So earlier than that overnight if you're on the West Coast. But eclipses you never just get one eclipse. They always come in the minimum of pairs. So we're actually going to be getting a second eclipse in 2 weeks. So the reason why I'm talking about this tonight, and then also the reason why I'm going to be going into next week or 2 weeks from now, is because the eclipse season, we call it in astrology an eclipse season, when we get that pair of eclipses, it's a lot of energy, and it's going to be happening on the axis of Gemini and Sagittarius. Now, so I've seen a lot of people saying I'm Gemini, or I have Gemini moon or Gemini rising sign. Yeah, there's a lot of Gemini energy right now. Rosalie, Capricorn from Burlington, Vermont. Monica, you feel energized, getting stuff done and accomplished. Danielle saying she was awake all night. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Just lots and lots of energies for sure. And a lot of people are saying they woke up at 4:30 a.m. and then they couldn't fall back to sleep. So yes, if you know somebody that would benefit from this broadcast, please type their name in, tag them in this broadcast, because they will definitely need to watch this. There's a lot of energy. So what are eclipses? Eclipses are really big in astrology. Please, this is a thing. So, eclipses are big, they're powerful, and of course in 2020 we had 6, okay? Just 6 eclipses. Usually we have like 2 or we have 4. No, this year we're going for 6, because it's like that in 2020. So we started the year with an eclipse in January, then we had more eclipses between June and July, and then now we're having even more eclipses eclipses now. So we're finishing the year strong with eclipse season. Another second or third, I guess, eclipse season. So basically what's happening is we had the Gemini full moon. So let's talk about what happens during a full moon. So, right, so the full moon is just like any other full moon. The sun opposes the moon. So the sun is currently in Sagittarius. The moon is currently in Gemini, 8 degrees to be exact. So if you guys know your astrological chart, you can kind of look it up and see what 8 degrees is in your astrological chart. But basically it's the beginning part. So if you were born more in the like kind of earlier part of Gemini, this is hitting you right head on in that Gemini stuff, okay? Or Sagittarius, because the sun, remember, is opposing the moon. So if you're born in the beginning of Sagittarius, which is like kind of like now, you know, in the beginning, you know, the end of November, like 21st to now, or if you're born, you know, during the Gemini, that time at the end of May there, yeah, you're definitely going to be feeling this because this is going to be like hitting you straight up. But if you have your moon in Gemini or whatever, you'll just be feeling this energy. So people get confused about this, and I want to clarify this. Everybody has Gemini in their chart. It just depends where, like what house it's in. You might not have any planets in that house, but you still have Gemini in your chart. So then what happens if you look at your chart and you go, oh, Gemini section's empty, then look at the house that it's influencing. So for me personally, Gemini is in my 11th house of friendships, groups of people, and like kind of social situations. So my area of friendships is Gemini. So this has been all up in my Gemini friendship area. Okay, I'll just say that. And I've been feeling that for sure. So the full moon basically is a time of culmination. It's an ending, it's completion, it's wrapping up, it's all this kind of ending stuff, you know? So you want to look at it as a peak, you know? It's like the maximum of what this is going to be, okay? And so that's basically what full moons are. But then when you add an eclipse into it, it makes it more complex. And the reason why is that, the reason why it gets complex is because think about a computer. It's like the energy of the one planet cuts off the energy of the other planet for just a moment, and it's like rebooting a computer. Now you guys know what I have said. Sometimes the computer comes back on, and sometimes it doesn't. You know, sometimes that computer is dead. Okay, and so eclipse times are basically, I call them portal times. So a lot of people have messaged me, they private message me, you guys text message me, what's a portal? Because nobody wanted to ask on the broadcast. So I always like to answer these questions on the broadcast, because then everybody can learn what a portal energy is. So Danielle said if you're on a cusp, yeah, of course, because you're in the beginning part of the Gemini. You're born on the beginning part. So yeah, all the people in the beginning are feeling this even stronger than other people. Marianne, so she said she has Mars in Gemini, so it depends on how close it was to 8 degrees there, but you might be feeling more energized, you know, and maybe grumpy. Like sometimes when we tickle Mars makes us a little grumpy. Hey Sarah, Aquarius. So who is going to feel this? So hello, of course, Gemini and Sagittarius are going to be like at ground zero. You guys are in the heart of that. But then all the other air signs are definitely going to feel it. So Aquarius and Libra. By the way, this is an air sign moon. So it's Aquarius, Libra, Gemini. And then all of the mutable signs. So Gemini, Sagittarius, they're both mutable signs. And then Virgo and Pisces also are mutable signs. So if you guys are feeling, if you're Pisces or Virgo, you could be feeling this energy also, because it's affecting all the mutable signs. Okay, so you guys are kind of all like in the heavy heart of it. Now, it's not to say that if you're not one of those signs, you won't feel it. Again, it depends on where Gemini is in your chart and how you're going to be experiencing this to know how it will affect you on a personal level. But just know that those signs that I mentioned are really going to be feeling it a little bit extra. So Gemini is definitely an air sign, so that means Gemini can be a little bit scattered, a little bit, airy. So that's mental energies. Mercury is the ruler of Gemini. So if you think Mercury retrograde, that kind of thing, no, Mercury is not retrograde right now, but it might feel a little bit like ungrounded. And a lot of people have been talking about how they've been feeling like very energetic. It's like almost like electrical in their bodies. That's all that mercurial stuff. So Mercury tends to be that way. And so it's powerful. And now Nora said 13 degrees north node in Gemini. Okay, so now we're getting into the nodes of the moon. I'm going to be talking about that as well. Hey July, how you doing? You're here live. Juliet, oh wow, Venus, Mars, and Saturn in Gemini. So you got to be feeling this like totally. Yeah, and Jacqueline said she did wake up at 4 a.m. today, so interesting, and that you were kind of unmotivated this weekend. So yeah, so here's the shizzle, okay, with what the deal is with eclipses. Again, it's like rebooting a computer. So it cuts the energy off for just a moment and then reboots it. Sometimes the computer comes back on, sometimes it doesn't. So where are you getting the rebooting? I always say it's time to hit the reset button when we're talking about eclipses. Where are you getting the reboot? Because that's, find Gemini in your chart or know where Gemini is. Or even if you don't know anything about Gemini or where that is in your chart and you've never even seen your chart, think about how you relate to Geminis, okay? So I always tell, if you know people, Geminis, or how you feel during Mercury retrogrades, and you'll get a feeling of what you're going to feel like during this particular full moon. And the same goes in 2 weeks when we get into, so not next Monday, but the Monday after on December 14th, we're going to have a solar eclipse new moon in Sagittarius. So again, we're still going to be on the axis of Gemini and Sagittarius there. So we'll be feeling this energy. It's going to be a lot. And so when we talk about Gemini is literally the nerves in the body. It is the lungs, okay? So unfortunately, we've been talking a lot about COVID, though they feel that COVID is in some people more cardiovascular than it is pulmonary, but still we're talking about the lungs, okay? It can be asthma, it can be bronchitis, it can be COPD, it can be COVID, it can be any of those things, the lung area of the body, respiratory area. It is the hands, wrists, and then the arms, okay? And even the shoulders, like this is Taurus, just to let you know. All this is kind of Taurus area of the body, but Gemini starts like kind of here and goes down, and that's sort of like the rotator cuff and all that good stuff is Gemini, okay? But I'm sorry to say this, you guys. I love my Gemini people. Again, Gemini is on my area of friendships. However, y'all tend to be nervous Nellies. A lot of my Geminis are like nervous, more anxious folks because Mercury, the winged messenger, who's the ruler of Gemini, he was on the move. He was always on the go, right? He was the dude in the chariot, and he had the Pegasus, okay? He was styling there, and he was always active, always on the go. He was the winged messenger. So he was spreading the word. He was talking. He was doing things. He was on the move. He was like, just, it's all that stuff. And so when we think of Gemini and we think of Mercury, those two hold hands and go down the street. So feeling anxious, feeling hyper, feeling a little ADD, feeling a little scattered, and all that stuff can be very, very Mercury anxious, kind of stuff. Now, for some of us, so let's say it's not like you're not getting at the ground zero, you're not getting the direct hit of it. Tertiary, okay, on the outside, you might just get a little extra, have a little zip in your step or feel a little good. But if you're a Mercury ruled person, especially Virgo or Gemini, you guys are going to be definitely feeling this particular full moon because it's a lot of energy. And like I said, it is the lungs, it is pulmonary and respiratory sort of system, and then the hands and the arms and wrists areas, even the elbows there is Gemini. And so we need to ground. This is a really hard full moon to ground in, because here's the thing. I always talk about when we have this like really like frenetic, like ooh, buzzy sort of energy, it's hard to just sit there, and especially if you're not a person that has ever tried to do that before. So that might be too hard to sit in this type of energy. It's almost like an energy that needs to be moved, like going for a run, going for a walk, like go, trying to rake some leaves and do whatever you need to do to like get this kind of out of you, because just sitting might not be enough to get it out. Now, here's the thing. Some people, I have a friend of mine, and I keep talking about this because she experiences most of these astrological things like a little delayed, and I was experiencing them. So I was experiencing all of this energy on Saturday, where like my friend is just kind of now starting to experience the energy. So it depends on where like you sort of are in the realm of things. But even though I said 4:30 a.m. was the height of it, eclipses are a period of time. I mean, they can affect things for almost 2 weeks, like a week before and a week after the eclipse. Okay, so there's that. And the second thing is it starts off a new cycle. So that rebooting and the resetting starts off a new cycle that lasts possibly as long as 6 months. So that's why eclipses time frames are so important. If you have an ending right now going on in your life, friend leaves, okay, or relationships not going well, or a job ends, or something is going on in your personal life, okay, if something is winding down, finishing up, ending, completing, wrapping up, all those words, okay, and it doesn't have to be a bad thing. Sometimes we just wrap up stuff and during full moons. One time I won an award during a full moon, and it was like, yay, that was the peak of that cycle. That was going to be the top, that was the top thing in that cycle. So that's the thing of it, is that wrapping something up, pay attention to what ends around the eclipse, and it doesn't have to be on the day of. It could be last week, it could be going into this week, but whatever kind of ends or wraps up around a full moon, because remember, it's a full moon on steroids. Okay, so it's like really causing things, because here's the thing, we have to end things before we can start new things, which is going to be the next eclipse, is going to be the new moon eclipse. So that's going to be very powerful for starting new things, where if you want to think about ending things or wrapping up things. So if anybody had anything going on in their area of life that they were wrapping up, I'd love for you guys to type that below. Danielle is commenting, Trump is the only Gemini I know. Yeah, well, so he's wrapping up, right? I mean, so somebody brought up a good point, and I was going to actually say that, not that I'm fixated on Donald Trump, but Donald Trump and Mike Pence are both Geminis, both of them. In fact, Mike Pence is a sun and moon in Gemini, and Donald Trump was born, so Mike Pence was born during the new moon, and Donald Trump was born during the full moon. So he's a Gemini Sagittarius moon. He has a Gemini sun and a Sagittarius moon. So he's getting this direct hit from both of them, are wrapping up and ending, okay? Because, that's what this eclipse is. It's about wrapping up and ending a cycle. Lunar eclipses are about endings. Think about full moons are endings, and this is like a full moon on steroids. So, but here's the thing, we can't always have new beginnings. Sometimes we have to clear out the clutter, get rid of the debris, release something that is toxic. Now, when we talk about Gemini is so heady. It doesn't rule over the head area, though. I will tell you, I had a massive migraine this weekend. And I for sure attribute it to this, this full moon and this lunar eclipse, because it was massive. But I will tell you that it's very heady. So it's about conversations. It's about how we communicate. It's about lots of talking and thinking and all of these things, and expressing oneself. And here's the sort of thing about Gemini. Gemini sometimes can sort of be scattered with talking, like kind of talking for talking's sake. And so we just want to make sure that we like communicate authentically and really express ourselves, not just like chatter, you know, to fill space, and also not talking to respond, you know, like actually listening and sharing and all of that stuff is really good. We have to really learn those things about Gemini, because Gemini can be, you know, a little bit too talky, and then it's like, you know, we have to listen too. That's called a conversation. It should be like a tennis match, right? Ping-ponging back and forth. Yeah, so that's a thing. Oh, yes, June said selling a rental property and is no longer going to be a landlord. That is a huge goal there. Danielle is very much practicing as a yogi and a yoga teacher. Yeah, that's great. All that stuff is really good. So Juliet said son is going back to college tomorrow. Sweet visit after not seeing him, but he's wrapping up and going back. Let's see. Holly said new job after 12 years. Congratulations, girl. Yeah, thank you. Monica said, I know migraines are never easy. Teresa said pressure headache today. Colleen said, I really want to get to know my chart better. Well, hey girl, call me. That's what I do. That's what I teach people, but also to look at your own chart, like, and be able to see things. Cause I think astrology is just so fascinating, because you can see all, this is why I love doing these live broadcasts. And, you know, some people have said, well, we just want you to just do a video and not a live broadcast. And I do want to do just videos for sure, but the live broadcast helps people, because what I have found behind the scenes as an astrologer is, you know, people come to me and they'll say, oh, well, what about this energy or that energy, or I feel crazy, but it couldn't be the full moon. Can't be the full moon, right, Gretchen? I mean, that's just the full moon. or Mercury retrograde or whatever. In other words, people experience these feelings all of the time, and then yet they feel alone, they feel crazy, they feel like, oh, it couldn't be other people, it's just me, you know? And I love seeing, okay, other people are commenting like, oh yeah, I felt that. Like we just had 5 or 6 people say, I just woke up at 4:30 a.m. I don't know why. I never wake up that time, you know? And so that is a thing, you know? And so, and studies have also shown, scientific studies have shown that we do lose sleep at full moons. Now, science isn't willing to say it's an astrological reason, but they do say that we lose sleep at full moons, but they don't know why. They don't know if it's circadian rhythms or the increased light or whatever. We can let science figure that out. But I'm here to tell you that if we use the science of astrology, we would say, of course we're going to lose sleep, because it's the peak of the cycle. It's a big cycle. And then what happens usually when the full moon is over, it's like this, you know, like everybody crashes out in the days after the full moon. So unfortunately the full moon's happening on Monday, and we still have Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Fridays, you know, to go in the work week. And so it's a little hard, to have that crash out when we're trying to work and function and all that stuff. But that's basically what the deal is a lot of people end up really feeling like they want to like go to sleep and whatever, because the days leading up to this, so Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, you guys might have had trouble sleeping, or I had very weird dreams over the weekend. I had some really like kind of crazy out there dreams. So that is the thing. So when we talk about Gemini, I love the stone howlite. First of all, we're talking about communication, okay? And I love the stone sodalite. So I'm referencing these two areas of my body because this is the third eye chakra, and this is the throat chakra, both beautiful stones for Gemini, okay? We're talking about, this is a lot of heady energy, right? So let's load up the head area. In fact, I like this disc because you can put it right on the third eye. And so these are great stones for the full moon lunar eclipse in Gemini. And so if you're a Gemini, you might want to kind of get these stones. Another stone that's really good for Gemini is the color green. And the reason why I'm saying this is because Mercury, I don't know if you guys know this, but there are certain archangels that are associated with the planets. And the archangel that it's associated with, Mercury, is actually Archangel Raphael, the healer. And his color is green. So I'm wearing green tonight, okay, in honor of Archangel Raphael. And a lot of people know Archangel Raphael. Some of the other archangels are a little bit like less well known, okay, but he's more of a famous one, okay. So, and by the way, even if you're different, religions and whatever, believe in archangels, so it's not like it's more of a universal thing. So you don't have to be Christian just to believe in archangels. But Archangel Raphael is the healer. So if you need healing in your body, okay, I love the stone malachite. I'm using that stone for this particular full moon because this is an opportunity to heal, okay? Now, the other thing that's associated with this full moon, and remember when I'm talking about this full moon, I'm also talking about the upcoming new moon because they're like this. They're linked together, okay? They're both taking place, so it might seem magical or mysterious. How do we know what sign the eclipses are going to be in? Well, I'll tell you. How we know what sign the eclipses are in is we need to look at the nodes of the moon, the north node of the moon and the south node of the moon. And wherever they are is where the eclipses take place. Okay, so it's not actually magical or mysterious. You just need to find where the nodes of the moon are. And for the next roughly 18 months, the nodes of the moon are going to be in Gemini and Sagittarius. This past year, we finally wrapped up the nodes of the moon being in Capricorn and Cancer. Okay, so for 2 years before that, they were Capricorn and Cancer. Now they're going to be in Gemini and Sagittarius, and they're roughly in each of those. They're always opposite of each other, so they're roughly in that area for around, like I said, 18 months. So basically, the node of the moon, the north node of the moon, is what you are meant to do here in this lifetime, and that's in Gemini. And the south node of the moon, which is a past life or earlier in your life, but usually our early life is linked to a past life. So just to let you know. So we're thinking past with the south node of the moon. That's in Sagittarius. Okay. So this particular full moon has to do with what we're meant to do here in this lifetime, the north node. I always say if you can't remember the two, think north, like you're heading north pole or something, like, versus the south is kind of where you're leaving. Okay. I don't know. That's kind of how I remember it. Yes. So basically it's one of those things that the north node of the moon is attached to this particular full moon. So it's, the word destiny is a big thing with the north node of the moon is like, what's your destiny in this lifetime? So again, it's in Gemini. Where's Gemini in your chart? The north node of the moon right now is 19 degrees Gemini, where this particular full moon was 8 degrees Gemini, but it doesn't matter because it's both in Gemini. And so we are learning in the next 18 months this Gemini lesson of communication, of wherever it is in your astrological chart, whether that be a journey, or that be a new home, or that be in your area of health, or that be in your area of money, wherever Gemini is in your chart, that will tell you where your sort of destiny is right now. Okay. And so that's basically what the deal is. And also the nodes of the moon, just so that you understand, always move retrograde. They don't actually go forward. They always move backwards. So basically that is the thing. So they are going to always be on the axis, which means the opposite. So Gemini, Sagittarius, and that's basically the deal. So the new moon that's in 2 weeks is going to be associated with our past life, or something from our past. The past, either this lifetime, or a previous lifetime. But in this particular full moon, we're going to be thinking of, what do you want to do next? Like, what's coming next? We have to clean out something to bring something in new, right? We have to leave something behind. We have to purge something. We have to get rid of something. And with Archangel Raphael, we have to heal something, okay? In that Gemini zone, we have to heal something in our life. So what is going on for you right now that you think, I really have to heal that? Whether it be healing your body, or healing plumbing, or healing a friendship, or healing a love relationship, or healing a marriage, or healing your relationship with your parents or your children. Whatever thing it is you're working on healing, that's what this moon is sort of involving. And this will kind of like unfold over the next like sort of 6 months or so. But just using, for example, our Gemini president that has to leave, he has to leave office, and he's going to have to heal that about himself, right? And so if you know a Gemini right now, they might be working through something. But even in yourself, we're going to be doing a lot of evaluating about this Gemini stuff. And I keep bringing up friendship because it is my area of friendship in my chart. But Gemini is kind of like our community, it's like our little like circle, and it's our little neighborhood, and it's our little community. What about words, and communicating and writing and speaking and doing all of that stuff? What about words, and what about our expression, how we express ourselves? All of that is that Gemini stuff. And so are we just talking to talk? Or are we talking to learn and to listen? We might even want to take a class or be interested in like media and technology and like different things. This might be like waking up a part of us where maybe you want to do a website, or maybe you want to write a book, or write some short stories or poetry or something. But what is this kind of waking up within you? Think words. Think Gemini, I always think words. And also your little immediate kind of area. Now Sagittarius, when we're talking Sagittarius, we're talking big, long, trips and traveling far away, but we're not there right now. We're in the immediate neighborhood, sort of our community, our little county we live in, our little community we live in, and how do we affect our community? How do we affect our little world our little corner of the world? And so that is some Gemini food for thought stuff. And also some of what's happening right now is tickling that north node of the moon, which is the destiny of like where we're meant to be right now in this particular portion of our lifetime. Now, I'm not talking about a big overarching destiny of like, what do I want to be when I grow up or accomplish? It could be, some of that could be tickled for sure, especially if you have some stuff, okay, up in there in your area of Gemini. But let's say it's just like for the next 18 months, what are you supposed to be doing in your life? We're getting some more activity in that Gemini department. And this is not the last of eclipses. As we move over the next 18 months, whenever eclipses happen, they're always going to be in that zone of Gemini and Sagittarius. Now, somebody said, what set is next? So the next cycle, of course, is going to be Taurus and Scorpio, but that's going to be almost in 2 years, so let's not rush. Let's not think about that right now. Let's just concentrate on the Gemini and the Sagittarius. So Nora said, funny, a Gemini friend I haven't seen in a long time was in your dream last night. So yeah, that can definitely be a thing. Monica said, I want to write. Yes. Right. Pence is Gemini too. Yes, I went over that. Donald Trump and Mike Pence. Mike Pence also, like I said, has Sun and Moon in Gemini, just to let you guys know. Yeah, so basically that's what's going on. So I want you to think Archangel Raphael, okay? And ask Archangel Raphael, and you can use green. I'm using my green. I got my green on. Okay, I got fluorite on too. This beautiful fluorite bracelet. Okay. And you want to channel your green. What do you need to heal? Green is the color of healing. It's also the color of growing. Okay. So when we heal something, we grow. And so what do we need to heal in our lives? What do we need to harness and work with Archangel Raphael? You can even light a candle and say a prayer to Archangel Raphael. But basically, what do you need to heal? And by the way, we could use our words to heal right now. We could write cards, and we could send emails or text to a friend or a loved one. Oh, I'm thinking of you or whatever. But what do we need to heal on ourselves? We're healing layers. Eclipses always come with big, healing stuff. And I will just say it is a thing. And so basically, that is the deal with Gemini. So if anybody has any questions about that, now here's the cool thing. In this particular week ahead coming up, we really have a lighter sort of week, sort of for 2020. Just saying, that's the caveat. People will contact me. I thought you said it was going to be light. I'm like, yeah, for 2020, like perspective. Okay, so we don't really have too much going on this week astrologically. We have a lot of lunar stuff going on. Now, tomorrow on Tuesday, speaking of the axis of Gemini and Sagittarius, they're opposites, okay? So think Brad and Angelina Jolie, okay? Brad Pitt, Sagittarius, Angelina Jolie is Gemini. But they're opposites, okay? They're always opposite of each other, okay? So Mercury is actually going to be leaving, finally leaving Scorpio, okay? Now, it's been in Scorpio for a long time, okay? We're gonna be finally leaving Scorpio, okay? Because Mercury was retrograde in Scorpio. So tomorrow at 2:51 p.m. Eastern Time on December 1st, so hello everybody, December 1st, okay, is going to be basically when Mercury starts a new cycle. Now, it's only going to be there, I think, for like 2.5 weeks or so. It's not going to be there for very long, but Mercury's starting to move, okay, and to do stuff. And I just was talking a lot about Mercury because Mercury rules Gemini. And so Mercury is going to be in Sagittarius, which is all about exploring, adventure, travel, learning, higher education, publishing, law, advertising, legal stuff, religion, beliefs, okay? So when we talk about Sagittarius, we talk about our beliefs. And so when we're talking about beliefs, that can get heated, okay? Because remember, Mercury is how we talk. And when we talk about, we might be pontificating upon something. So there's that. But how do you travel and explore and seek and do all that wonderful stuff in COVID? It's hard, right? I mean, we're like kind of locked down. So Sagittarius season this year is a little frustrating, I'll just say, because Sagittarius, is travel, and, although a lot of people did travel this holiday season, Sagittarius is the life of the party, likes to travel, get out, explore, roam, go to all the different holiday events and stuff. But right now we're not really supposed to be traveling. So it's a little frustrating, I think. It's a little frustrating. So, so Jane Moon Wolf, any predictions for the big Jupiter-Saturn conjunction in Aquarius on the solstice? Well, what Jane Moon Wolf is referring to is the big, what's called the Great Conjunction, okay, in astrology, and that is coming up on the solstice. Now, I've covered some of this before, and I will talk about it again for sure, but I'm not going to do a full broadcast on it yet, because that's going to be on the solstice is going to be on the 21st of December. But that is the kind of big, huge thing that is like kind of the last of all of this Capricorn stuff. Remember, I've been talking so much about the Capricorn stuff, and that is the thing. And if you guys have watched previous broadcasts, but maybe you're new, so I'll repeat it. That is the particular thing that in history has been, any president that's elected under that thing has died in office or had an assassination attempt in office. And so, unfortunately, because I said to everybody, make sure you really like the vice president for whoever you vote for this year, because the Great Conjunction is occurring. And it occurred when Abraham Lincoln was in office, JFK, Ronald Reagan, all. So, and some of them didn't even die in office from being assassinated. They just died of like a heart attack. So, going back over 100 years, any president that's been elected during this time. So we have more presidential stuff coming, and unfortunately that's a thing. And I feel bad about saying that, but it is what it is. So there's more stuff to come. I don't want to do a whole political broadcast because I have done that already in past things, but that is a sort of a big thing, heavy thing that's coming on that particular time. So one of the things I wanted to talk about again is portal energy. And so what is portal? Okay, so a portal is like kind of coming in and going, coming in and going, coming in and going, meaning that it's almost like a door between dimensions opens. And not to be too woo-woo or airy-fairy, so that I can put it in real life. People are born and people die. That's a thing, okay? Portal energy is like that. And eclipses are big portal energies. So sometimes people do pass away and it's really heavy. That can be heavy. But then also, this is the time when baby delivery rooms fill up and babies come into the world. So that is portal energy. But portal energy can also just be exchanging of ideas, lots of information and all of this stuff. So if you're a channeler, if you're somebody that is able to receive additional information, that can be a thing. If you're somebody who has psychic mediumship ability or any kind of stuff like that, portal energy can be very powerful energy. So I want to, that was Mercury in Sagittarius is going to be, like I said, in a few weeks. And then really the only other thing that's kind of going on this particular week, okay, in astrology is on Saturday on the 5th, on December 5th, we have the Venus is going to form a trine with Neptune. Okay, so that is sort of, we will just say that is very romantic. Okay, that's a very romantic kind of planetary thing when Venus and Neptune come together. But here's the problem with that. You know, I'm always paradoxical, right? It's always like, here's the good and here's the bad. Okay, the good news is it's all romantic and wonderful and, oh, it's just like flowers and just all the stuff, right? But the problem with Neptune is lies, illusions, delusions. So Neptune can be very much about putting somebody on a pedestal or thinking very idealistically. It's like idealistically and very not grounded in reality. Okay, so it can be like just again, it's beautiful energy. Venus trine Neptune is beautiful energy. It's music, it's poetry, it's writing, it's all the wonderful creative stuff that can possibly happen. Okay, and Venus is in Scorpio, and then we have Neptune in Pisces. But the problem with all of this is that it's just unrealistic energy. Like nobody, like it's almost like you think that life should be like that show The Bachelor, or whatever, like where it's like, a fake set and, everybody's sitting around just drinking wine all day and talking about their hopes and dreams. Is that like people have jobs and they can't necessarily do that. And a helicopter flew in. We're going to fly over a mountain and I'll propose to you with a 5-carat, diamond ring. I mean, not to say that stuff doesn't happen, but it's not like every day that stuff happens, and it's very much like, kind of like that show. It's sort of unrealistic love, like where we just want to like create this like fantasy. It's all fantasy, I mean, that is definitely Pisces, Neptune sort of arenas is the world of fantasy. So I'm kind of busy here searching through my cards because I wanted to also talk about a little bit, and I want to maybe even record a separate video about this, but I'd like to talk about the numerology. Oh, Hans said, yes, it's like being drunk. Exactly. It really is. It's very ungrounded. And by the way, Neptune is totally addiction. I mean, it's like being drunk, high, whatever. It's like not really being here, grounded. Okay, Colleen said rising sign, moon is 28 degrees Gemini, so that moon's right up in y'all stuff there, girl. That's for sure. All right, so Linda Goodman book, Venus trines at midnight. Oh, nice. Awesome. I love Linda Goodman, and I'm using Linda Goodman cards right here. So I want to talk about the energy of December. Okay, the numerology of December. This month is a 16, and if you're to reduce it, it's a 7. Now, in Chaldean numerology is very different because the Chaldean system, which is the oldest form of numerology. Okay, and I won't get into all of the things about this particular system of numerology, but I happen to love this system of numerology. It's an ancient form of it. They don't do the reduction. Okay, so 1 + 6 would be 7, and that would be the reducing of this. But the month of December, gosh, talk about 2020 just going out with a bang, is the card number 16, which is the Tower card. The number 16 is associated with the month of December in numerology. Now, if I was to reduce it, 1 + 6 is 7. The card, the number of 7 is Neptune. Okay, and these are Linda Goodman cards, and she used Chaldean numerology in combination with astrology, and this is my system as well. So yeah, Almir just said, ouch. Yeah, I mean, this is like, oh God, you know, can 2020 just be a little lighter? All right, so the Tower, what is the Tower about? So I don't know if you can see this poor little dude is falling off the tower because the big lightning bolt came and down he went. So the message with the Tower card is safety is an illusion. So this guy, he built this tower to keep himself safe, and that thing is pretty like sturdy looking and medieval and, you know, whatever, strong, but it just took one lightning bolt and down he went. And so basically the Tower moment, like, some people are reacting going, oh my God, really, for real, you know, the Tower, because it's the dreaded kind of card in the deck. I mean, I'll just be honest, it's the dreaded card in the tarot deck, it's the dreaded card in this deck, because the Tower moment is something that's kind of like unexpected, that it's just ouchy. And so that is the numerology of December. And then if you were to reduce it, which I'll play some game here and reduce it just to like further sort out the energy, it ends up in a 7, and 7 is basically Neptune. And so Neptune means something's ungrounded, something's, I just got done saying, it's like being, like Han said, it's like being drunk. I mean, it's foggy fuzzy. So what happens when we put something on a pedestal? Right? Down it goes, you know? I mean, when we're not being realistic and we're not like really focusing and we're not doing all this stuff, maybe with COVID, it's, you know, we're not, you know, yay, it's like we're thinking about vaccines. And when COVID, I keep hearing people saying when COVID's over and stuff, I mean, it will be over to some degree, okay, we'll say, but we're not even close to the vaccine coming out just yet. Okay, so, I mean, that's the thing. I always say, let's just be cautiously optimistic, because it's really, really heavy stuff. I mean, it doesn't go out easily. And I've said to people, a lot of this energy does not really clear up. And even if it does clear up, it's not really fully clear. When we get through next year and even 2022, there's even more stuff coming. But it's not quite like this year. This year is like the powerful, you know, crazy year. And the last time this great conjunction happened in Capricorn was, again, very, very hundreds of years ago. So a very long time ago. So we haven't quite seen this Capricornian, you know, great conjunction stuff happen in quite a long time. And so in Capricorn, the great conjunction happens, I think it's roughly every, I can't remember if it's every 13 years or so, something like that. But it hasn't happened in Capricorn for a really long time. So, and the numerology of it is not like super cheery, wonderful, and delightful, because we have to think about safety as an illusion. So do you do things for safety? I mean, what makes you feel safe? You know, when we talk about safety, do you do things for safety? And I would say right now, doing things just for the sake of safety. I mean, safety is an illusion, right? I one time took a job because I thought it was like, you know, a job that was like the safe job and the best, you know, like it was like had job security and all that. And the, you know, they ended up having mass layoffs and stuff. It wasn't a safe job. It didn't provide safety. And so sometimes safety is found within. We give ourselves safety. I always say, and this is such an Aries thing to say, I realize, but I'm just going to say it. You keep yourself safe. You have to originate from within. you know, your safety from within. You're the one that provides yourself safety. Okay, you can rely on you. And sometimes we forget that because we were told as children, maybe, you can't believe yourself, you can't trust yourself, you can't, you know, don't really rely on this or that. I mean, it's just like, come on. No, you can trust yourself. You're the one that provides yourself with safety. When you rely on other people, you know, sometimes like us ladies will just say we want to rely on someone riding in, male or female, however you are, you know, on a big white horse, they're going to save us. Nobody's coming to save us. We have to save ourselves. That's what our souls are responsible for. We have helpers. Don't get me wrong. We have beautiful people that help us. Earth angels, I call them. And they're beautiful people and they help us. But we can't just like rely 100% on all that. We have to rely on ourselves to keep ourselves safe, okay? And so safety is an illusion if we're relying too much on another person, on a job, on this, on that, all that stuff. We want to kind of, okay, and suck it back in and save ourselves. That's your job. That's your job, is to do your work. Sometimes we just think, you know, oh, I'll just win the lottery and it'll save me. No, that's not. No, we have to save ourselves, okay? Yeah, you could manifest stuff. I mean, I'm not saying that you can't, but it's about relying on yourself and not relying on others. Sometimes we think we still act like we have that child mentality of like a big parent's going to come and save us. But sometimes that doesn't happen, and then we have to save ourselves. So that's the message there with this card. Woof, it's a heavy card. And that's 2020. That's just how it's been, you know? I mean, and I predicted this. I've been watching this coming for years, and I've been like, oh my God. But, you know, it is what it is. So let me take some questions here. I know somebody asked to pull a card about somebody in the hospital, I think. I missed it maybe. Oh, okay, here we go. Monica, I would appreciate a card drawn for my sister in Wisconsin, hospitalized today for COVID rebound and being evaluated for possible source for her confusion. Oh, yeah, honey, that's absolutely, positively COVID has causes and can cause problems with neurologic, okay? So let me look. Sister in Wisconsin, and I'm just kind of taking a look. First of all, let's ask everybody to please send that beautiful Archangel Raphael energy to Monica's sister in Wisconsin, because I do feel like she needs it. Oof, wow. Yeah, she's got what I would say is almost like a brain swelling feeling to me. I don't exactly know. Feels like brain swelling. That's what it feels like. That it feels like it's like inflammation of the brain. And also she is getting the card of whoop. Wow, it flipped out, super flipped. Mercury, which is, remember I was saying lungs. So we want to watch that. But I feel like she's definitely having some problems. But I have to tell you, I'm also getting kind of a blood clotty feeling. So I wonder, Monica, if they've tested her for blood clotting, any kind of blood clotting stuff. Okay, so that I hope she's not having mini strokes or something, because there's like a blood clotting feeling with her, Monica. So please follow up with that and ask them, because this is the other card you're getting. Like, this is trusting lamb, which means you kind of can't trust. And now, okay, I work with doctors, work in conjunction with doctors, but I almost feel like you maybe want to get a second opinion or something, because I feel like they might be a little off track, not totally off track, but a little off track from her, like what really is occurring with her, Monica. So I definitely feel that there's a worry of a TIA. Yes. So please have them look at that. There's a blood clotting feeling with the brain, and I want you to, maybe it's a mini situation. It's not like a massive, but it's a mini. So I definitely and there's an inflammatory feeling around it. So I want you to follow up with that and keep like kind of on them, like maybe ask for blood clotting tests and like all kinds of stuff, because that's what I feel is the thing, Monica. But I hope she gets better, and we're all going to say prayers. Everybody, please collectively say a prayer, okay? And send Monica's sister's energy in Wisconsin lots of healing and love and light, so that she gets better. Archangel Raphael. Okay. All right. Oh no. Nora said she had a question about Madeira, stuff about building a road, and it's a complicated situation with what, yeah, everybody's giving you lots of love and prayers there, girl. Okay. For sister. All right. So Nora, I'm just going to pull a quick card for you, because it is a very, it is shady. The whole thing is shady. And it all comes down to money, Nora. The whole darn thing comes down to money. And it's money, like, do we spend money on this, or do we spend money on this? And it's almost like, I feel like there has to be like this whole, like, almost like the road should go from here to here, but instead it has to go all the way up and around, some kind of a thing. Like, I feel like almost like there's a thing blocking it, and they're being kind of ridiculous about the thing that's blocking it. I don't know exactly what this thing is, but it feels like it should go here to here, and instead they're making you go all the way, like, through the woods and the river and back again. I feel like it's just too it's strange. It's almost like I don't want to say that it's stupid, because it's not stupid, but it's almost like this, like, defunct ancient thing that, like, I don't know why, but, like, I feel like they won't go through it. And I feel like you have to kind of go up and around, and that's going to cost tons of money. Okay. So I just feel like that, I don't know if that even answers your question, Nora. But I feel like you're gonna, there's like a ton of steps here that you're gonna have to take, okay? And it might be quite costly, but I do feel like you can get through this thing. I feel like it's really, I don't want to say stupid, because it's not stupid, it's like, but it's like, it's unnecessarily complicated. That's what I want to say. It's like unnecessarily complicated. So I hope that helps. Let's see. You don't know what's going on. You didn't request the road. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Yeah, I don't know. They're really being kind of crazy about it. I'm just saying. And, I feel like, oh, your aunt and uncle wanted to increase the value. No, I don't think so. I feel like it's going to be, I feel like the proposal is here to here, but it's going to end up having to go up and around, and maybe it doesn't even affect you. Maybe that would be good, but it's strange. It's like strange, but I don't think it's going to work out how they think it's going to work out, in other words, or how you think it's going to work out, or how they think it's going to work. No, it's changed. It ends up changing. So I hope that helps, but yeah, I don't think it'll be increasing the value. I think it's going to cost money. And that's going to be a thing. Okay. So somebody else asked me a question here. Let me just see. I'm sorry about, let's see. I already answered that question. Let me see here. Kristen said she will watch the replay back. Okay, yeah. So I am going to pull a card from the fairy angels, and if I think of fairies, I definitely think, when I think of the Fae, I think of Gemini as well. So I will pull a collective card for this week. Okay, what does everybody need to know about the energy of this week in astrology? What does everybody need to know? And remember, please be kind to each other and talk and all those wonderful things, and sending lots of prayers and energy out there, because we're just not done with all this COVID stuff yet. Not even close. So we're still, the COVID cases are still rising, and it's difficult. All right, so sending lots of prayers and love to Monica's sister. But what do we need to know for the week? What do we need to know as a collective whole? This is for everybody watching today, watching on the replay, watching on YouTube. By the way, if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube, go ahead and subscribe. It's Gretchen Hidell on YouTube. Okay, what do we need to know about the energy of this week? What's the most important thing? Oh, Oh, that's cool. New location. Okay, and so when we think of new location, and you can see here she's beautiful, she's got butterflies. It's funny because she's that color, right, of the sodalite, which is the third eye chakra there. So new location could mean any kind of thing where we're doing something new at a new place, a new location. A lot of us are working from home, and we're going to school, we're going back to school, then we're back home from school, and then we're going into the office and we're not in the office. I mean, it's like musical chairs right now with locations. And I feel like things are switching, things are changing. Also, too, we might be desiring to be even living potentially in a new place, or wanting to visit new stuff. But here's the bottom line: we need to have a little bit of fresh air and little sunlight. Somebody's saying that they want to see the card again. She's sitting in a boat, my dear, which is a leaf. Okay, and she's beautiful, and then she's got butterflies coming out there. But that's new location, okay? And so basically it's one of those things that we might need a little bit of fresh air. So even if, look, I realize that COVID and restrictions and all that, but even if we can get out maybe to like a new park and go for a walk, or go to a new store down in two towns away, or we need to get some kind of a newness, because this is becoming old, it's becoming monotonous, it's becoming boring, and also this might be quite literal that we are spending time in a new place, or you know, things are switching again with your job, or again with your kids' school, or again, you know, like we're going back and forth with all these different things. So basically that is the deal, okay? New location, and we're looking to change some things up. Remember what I was saying about Gemini. Gemini is travel, but it's kind of like in your immediate area. Gemini likes to travel, you know, it's more about weekend getaways, or something close to your house, or close to your, you know, area of whatever, you know, I mean, where, like your little immediate, like little circle, your little fun zone, okay, we'll just say, versus Sagittarius, which is like, if you live in America, it's like traveling to India or Africa or some other place. Gemini is more about, like, you know, you're kind of more your little area and your little circle. So you might want to get out and explore and think about, you know, the energy right now might be a little bit too stagnant or stale. Remember, it's Sagittarius season. Sagittarius and Gemini is both, even though they travel sort of differently, they both travel. So, so new location, and this might even be, by the way, if you were thinking of moving, thinking of going into a new place. I mean, that can be a thing as well. So, I hope that helps. Okay, so great to see you all. Happy Monday night full moon, lunar eclipse. Make sure you take some time, burn and destroy your new moon manifestation list. Burn or destroy your new moon manifestation list. This is the time to do that. Release it and set those intentions and let it go out into the air, because we are going to be manifesting in 2 weeks on that lunar eclipse, on the solar eclipse, I mean, in 2 weeks. Big time. So we want to burn and destroy and let that old energy go. Release the old energy. This is the time to release. Okay? All right, everybody. Happy full moon. Namaste, everyone. Take care, and full moon blessings.